Today we're gonna explore a concept that most of us have been taught since childhood, the idea of being nice. We're told that kindness is a virtue, and in many ways it is. We're raised with the belief that being polite, considerate and selfless makes us good people. But here's the catch. There's a hidden trap in this seemingly innocent idea of being nice. A trap that, if we're not careful, can cause us to lose sight of who we truly are. Right? For years we've been conditioned to believe that in order to be liked, accepted and loved, we must constantly please others. We're taught that kindness is the key to relationship, success and happiness. But what happens when this idea goes too far? What happens when being nice stops being about genuine care and starts becoming about approval? This is the first thing we need to understand. Being nice isn't just about kindness, it's about seeking validation. We've all experienced it. We say yes when we want to say no. We sacrifice our own needs to avoid conflict. We give away our time and energy just to make sure everyone around us is happy. It feels good to be liked, to be appreciated, but at what cost? We find ourselves drained, exhausted, and at times even resentful. The people who once admired our kindness begin to take it for granted, and we start to feel like a doormat, always giving, never receiving. And let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't real kindness. When we constantly prioritize others at the expense of our own well-being, we're not showing kindness to ourselves. The act of continuously pleasing others can lead us to neglect our own needs and desires, and eventually we find ourselves lost in the shuffle of life, disconnected from our true selves. Say you have a few issues, but it doesn't have to be this way. We don't have to keep sacrificing ourselves to fit into the mold of what others expect from us. The truth is, kindness is a beautiful trait, but it must come with boundaries, self-respect, and most importantly, self-love. We need to recognize when we're crossing the line from kindness to self-neglect, and we need to stop apologizing for taking care of ourselves. We don't have to say yes to everything. We don't have to be available all the time. We don't have to lose ourselves in order to gain others' approval. In this conversation, we'll dive deeper into the dynamics of being nice, why it can become a trap, and how we can break free from it to embrace our true selves without apology. The journey to reclaiming your life starts with recognizing the problem. And the problem is not kindness. It's the fear that keeps us trapped in a cycle of constant pleasing and self-sacrifice. Today, we will challenge that fear and equip you with the tools you need to live authentically, assertively, and unapologetically. So, let's break down the illusion that being nice always leads to happiness. It's time to examine the damage that being too nice can cause in our lives and start creating a healthier, more fulfilling way to navigate the world. Because at the end of the day, the most empowering thing you can do is to stop being nice for the sake of others and start being kind to yourself. To honor your own needs and to embrace who you truly are. Let's dive into this transformative journey, the trap of being nice. Being nice, it's something we're taught from an early age. We're told to be kind, polite, and considerate of others. It's what society expects of us, whether it's from our parents, teachers, or the world around us. And while these traits are commendable and have their place in our lives, they can easily transform into something much more dangerous if we're not careful. The trap of being nice is that it's not just about kindness, it's about approval. You become conditioned to think that if you're nice enough, people will like you, accept you, and appreciate you. And so, you do everything to please others. You suppress your own needs, wants, and desires in favor of making other people comfortable. You say yes when you really want to say no. You go along with plans that you don't even care about, simply to avoid conflict. You become the person who everyone expects to be there, to give, and to sacrifice. But what cost? The truth is, being nice all the time doesn't make you a better person. It doesn't make you more virtuous, nor does it make you more admirable. It just makes you a doormat. You become someone who allows others to walk all over you, because you've been conditioned to put others first, even at the expense of your own happiness and well-being. And Let's be honest, when you're constantly pleasing others, when do you ever get to take care of your car? You might think that being nice will build stronger relationships, but the reality is that people who are always nice are often taken for granted. People start to expect your kindness, your time, your energy without ever considering how much you're giving up in the process. When you never assert yourself or set boundaries, people begin to assume you'll always say yes, always be there, and always prioritize their needs. Over time, this creates a pattern where you feel unseen and unappreciated. You see, kindness without limits isn't kindness, it's self-neglect. It's you being so afraid of conflict, confrontation, or disappointing others that you lose sight of your own needs. And that's where the trap lies. By always trying to please everyone else, you forget to take care of yourself. You may end up feeling drained, frustrated, or resentful. You might even begin to feel invisible in your own life. But being nice doesn't have to mean abandoning yourself. The problem isn't the kindness itself, it's the unchecked, unbalanced form of kindness that leaves you constantly giving with no consideration for your own well-being. You start to feel like you have to be everything for everyone. And that's impossible. You can't be all things to all people. And you shouldn't have to be. So ask yourself, is being nice really helping you grow? Or is it holding you back? Are you becoming the best version of yourself? Or are you sacrificing your dreams, your goals, and your happiness just to gain approval from others? The trap of being nice is something that holds you back from living a fulfilling and authentic life. It's time to break free from this cycle, to stop living for everyone else's expectations, and to start living for yourself. Why you need to set boundaries. If you've spent most of your life trying to be the nice person, you may have noticed that over time, your energy is drained, your self-respect fades, and your personal goals get pushed aside. This is because when you constantly focus on others, you forget to prioritize your own needs. You forget that you deserve respect, time, and space, just like everyone else. This is where boundaries come in. Boundaries are not about building walls or being rude. They are about protecting your energy, your time, and your mental health. Setting boundaries means deciding what you're willing to accept from others and what you're not. It means saying no without guilt, standing up for yourself without fear, and making sure that your needs are met just as much as anyone else's. When you fail to set boundaries, you risk losing yourself. It's easy to say yes to everyone and everything, especially when you're trying to be the nice person. But when you do this, you're not being kind to yourself. Instead, you're sacrificing your own well-being for the comfort of others. The problem is, when you don't set boundaries, people can take advantage of you. They can demand your time, energy, and attention without considering your own limits. May even begin to expect you to always be there for them, no matter the cost to you. The truth is, people who respect you will respect your boundaries. They will understand that you have a life, responsibilities, and limits of your own. On the other hand, people who take advantage of your kindness will push against your boundaries and make you feel guilty for saying no. But here's the key. Guilt is not your responsibility, it's theirs. If someone can't accept your boundaries, then they're not respecting you as a person. Boundaries are about teaching others how to treat you. Without them, you're essentially teaching people that it's okay to use you, to drain your energy, and to take advantage of your kindness. When you start setting boundaries, you begin to create space for your own growth. You reclaim your time, your focus, and your energy. You allow yourself to say yes to the things that align with your goals, your values, and your happiness, and no to the things that do not. This isn't selfish, it's necessary. In fact, it's the most self-loving thing you can do for yourself. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're selfish or uncaring. On the contrary, setting boundaries shows that you value yourself. It's an act of self-respect and self-care. When you honor your own needs, you're in a much better position to help and support others because you won't be running on empty. Without boundaries, you lose control over your own life. You may find yourself feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, and resentful, but when you establish clear boundaries, you take back control. You start to feel empowered, confident, and at peace with yourself. You learn that it's okay to put yourself first, and that true kindness isn't about saying yes to everything. It's about knowing when to say no to protect your well-being. Remember, setting boundaries is not about being mean or rude. It's about respecting yourself enough to take care of your own needs. If you want to stop being the nice person who always says yes, start with setting boundaries. It's the first step toward taking control of your life, reclaiming your energy, and becoming the person you were always meant to be. How to say no without feeling guilty. Saying no can feel like one of the hardest things to do, especially if you've spent most of your life trying to be the nice person who pleases others. The fear of disappointing someone, or worse, being labeled as rude or selfish, can stop you from drawing the line and setting boundaries. But the truth is, saying no is one of the most empowering acts you can do for yourself. You've probably heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, and yet many of us try to do just that. We say yes to things we don't want to do, agree to take on tasks we don't have time for, and give our energy to people who don't appreciate it. This leads to burnout, resentment, and ultimately, a feeling of being trapped. But here's the secret. You don't have to say yes to everything, and you certainly don't have to feel guilty about it. Understanding the root of guilt. The first step in learning how to say no without feeling guilty is understanding where the guilt comes from. Often, guilt arises from a fear of letting others down, or the belief that your worth is tied to how much you do for others. In reality, guilt is often a learned behavior, something that's been ingrained in us over time, especially if we've been conditioned to be the nice person who always says yes. But here's the thing. When you say yes to everyone else, you're essentially saying no to yourself. You're putting your needs, your time, and your well-being on the back burner, which is neither sustainable nor healthy. Guilt is just a feeling, and like any feeling, it can be managed. The truth is, you have the right to protect your time and energy. Saying no is not an attack on the other person. It's a way of taking care of yourself and ensuring you don't lose your sense of self. The power of a polite no. One of the reasons people struggle with saying no is the fear of sounding rude. But you don't need to be harsh or aggressive when you decline someone's request. You can say no politely and assertively without being disrespectful. For example, I'm sorry, I'm unable to help with that right now. I have other commitments that I need to prioritize, so I won't be able to say yes this time. Thank you for asking, but I'm going to have to pass on this. The key is to keep it simple, clear, and kind. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're saying no, but if you feel comfortable, you can offer a brief reason. The important part is that you honor your boundaries and prioritize yourself. Practice saying no. Like any skill, saying no gets easier with practice. Start small. Begin with situations where the stakes are lower, such as declining an invitation to an event you don't want to attend, or saying no to a request that doesn't align with your values or priorities. As you practice, you'll become more comfortable with it, and it will begin to feel less daunting. Remember, you're not responsible for how others react when you say no. If someone is disappointed or upset, that's their emotion to process, not yours. By saying no, you're actually helping them understand your boundaries and teaching them to respect your time and energy. Reframe your perspective on no. Finally, it's important to reframe how you view saying no. Instead of seeing it as something negative, see it as an act of self-care. Every time you say no, you're giving yourself permission to focus on what truly matters to you. You're creating space for your own goals, your own well-being, and your own happiness. Saying no is not about shutting others out. It's about creating balance in your life and ensuring you're not stretched too thin. Saying no is a sign of strength, not weakness. It's a sign that you value yourself enough to put your needs first. It's a way of reclaiming control over your time, your choices, and your life. So the next time someone asks something of you that doesn't align with your priorities, don't be afraid to say no. And most importantly, don't feel guilty about it. By saying no when necessary, you'll be able to say yes to the things that truly matter. You'll have more energy, more focus, and more peace of mind to devote to the people, projects, and goals that are aligned with your vision for your life. Embrace your true self without apologies. One of the most empowering things you can do in your life is to stop apologizing for who you are. For too long, you may have tried to fit yourself into boxes that society, friends, or family have set for you. You may have bent your own values, altered your beliefs, or dimmed your light just to be liked or accepted. But the truth is, the world needs the real you, not the version you've been pretending to be. You have a unique set of qualities, talents, and experiences that make you you. And the moment you start embracing your true self without apologies, it's the moment you unlock your fullest potential. Stop seeking validation. In the quest to be the nice person, many of us become trapped in the cycle of seeking external validation. We look for approval from others before we feel worthy or confident enough to pursue our goals. We become afraid of rejection or criticism, which stops us from living authentically. But here's a powerful truth. You are enough, exactly as you are. Seeking constant validation from others only drains your energy and makes you dependent on the opinions of others. You'll never be truly fulfilled if you rely on someone else's approval to feel good about yourself. The key to embracing your true self is learning how to validate yourself first. Your worth doesn't come from what others think of you. It comes from your own belief in your value. When you stop waiting for others to give you permission to be yourself, you reclaim your power. You stop compromising your happiness for the sake of approval, and you start living life on your own terms. Embrace your imperfections. Being the nice person often means hiding your flaws and imperfections to maintain a certain image. But here's the reality. Nobody is perfect. We all have flaws, and that's what makes us human. Embracing your imperfections is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. The more you accept your flaws, the less energy you waste trying to be someone you're not. This doesn't mean you stop growing or improving yourself. It means you give yourself permission to be imperfect and still be worthy of love, respect, and success. It means you stop apologizing for your mistakes and instead you learn from them and move forward. Your imperfections are what make you unique. When you embrace them, you not only accept yourself, but you also teach others to accept you too. People are drawn to authenticity, and when you're comfortable with who you are, others will be too. Let go of the fear of rejection. One of the main reasons people continue to be the nice person is the fear of rejection. We're afraid that if we stop people pleasing, others will walk away from us, or worse, that they'll think less of us. But the reality is, people who truly value you will love and respect the real you, not the version of yourself that you've been pretending to be. Rejection is part of life, and while it can be painful, it is also an opportunity for growth. Every time someone rejects you for being your true self, it's a sign that they were never meant to be part of your journey. Let them go. The people who matter will appreciate your authenticity and will want to be around you for the right reasons, not because you're constantly trying to please them. When you stop living in fear of rejection, you give yourself the freedom to make decisions that are in alignment with your values and your goals. You start attracting the right people into your life, the ones who appreciate you for who you truly are. Live without apologies. The truth is, you don't owe anyone an apology for being yourself. Stop apologizing for your personality, your desires, your dreams, and your boundaries. You have every right to live authentically, to make choices that align with your values, and to embrace the path that feels right for you. When you embrace your true self, you'll notice how much lighter and freer you feel. You won't have to constantly put on a mask or worry about what others think. You'll be able to show up in the world as your most authentic self, and that is where your true power lies. Living without apologies doesn't mean being reckless or hurting others. It means living true to your values and beliefs without feeling the need to justify yourself. It means standing tall and owning who you are, flaws and all. It means finding peace within yourself, knowing that you're doing the best you can, and that's all that matters. The power of authenticity. Authenticity is magnetic. When you stop pretending to be someone else, you allow your true light to shine. People will be drawn to you for who you are, not for who you're trying to be. Embracing your true self without apologies is not just a path to inner peace. It's also the key to building meaningful relationships, achieving your goals, and creating a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. So, let go of the fear of judgment. Let go of the need to please everyone. And start embracing your true self without apology. The world needs you to show up as you are. Be unapologetically yourself, and watch as you begin to attract the life and the people that truly resonate with your essence. Ladies and gentlemen, we've explored the topic that resonates deeply with so many of us, the struggle of being too nice. It's easy to think that constantly pleasing others, sacrificing our time, and suppressing our needs is the path to acceptance and success. But as we've learned, this well-intentioned approach often leaves us drained, resentful, and disconnected from who we truly are. The fear of disappointing others traps us in a cycle of self-neglect, where we forget to prioritize our own well-being, happiness, and goals. The truth is, kindness is an incredibly valuable trait, but it should always come with boundaries. Being nice doesn't mean we should bend over backward to meet everyone's expectations, especially at the expense of our own peace and energy. To live authentically, we need to find the balance between being kind to others and kind to ourselves. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's self-respect. It's a way of honoring our time, our needs, and our emotional well-being. We've also discovered that saying no doesn't have to come with guilt. It's a powerful tool for protecting our peace, and it's an act of self-care that allows us to focus on the things that truly matter to us. Saying no when necessary is not a rejection of others. It's a statement of self-respect and empowerment. By practicing this, we reclaim control over our lives, energy, and decisions, ensuring that we have the space to grow and thrive. So, let's leave behind the illusion that being nice all the time will lead to happiness. Let's stop being trapped by the fear of not measuring up to others' expectations. Instead, let's embrace a life where we honor our own needs, set clear boundaries, and say no when it's necessary. It's time to stop being too nice and start being kind to ourselves. You are worthy of respect, of rest, and of happiness, and it's time to start putting yourself first. As you embark on this journey of self-empowerment, remember this: kindness starts with you. And when you choose to be kind to yourself, you're in a much stronger position to give to others, without losing yourself in the process. I don't apologize for taking care of you. It's the best thing you can do for yourself and those around you. Now go forward with confidence. Say no when you need to, set your boundaries, and never forget that you come first. Your worth isn't defined by how much you give to others. Your worth is defined by the love, respect, and care you show to yourself. You have the power to choose who you are and how you want to show up in the world. So, take control, embrace your true self, and live unapologetically. The most important thing you can do today is this: start being kind to yourself.